All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down an absolute playoff classic. It's an incredible comeback story from the world of pro volleyball that really shows you how strategy and just pure grit can overcome what looks like an impossible deficit.
So how do you do it? How does a team stare down a 4-point hole late in a game and flip it into a massive playoff win? Well, to answer that, we've got to look at this electrifying Game 1 semifinal showdown between Verona and Lube.
You could just feel the tension in the arena. I mean, you had the home side, Verona, up against this visiting powerhouse, Lube, and Game 1 was just intense, right from the very first serve. Yeah, the commentators, they absolutely nailed it. Right out of the gate, both teams were just locked into these huge back-and-forth rallies. It immediately showed you just how high the stakes were for this battle.
And right away, this thing turned into a showdown between two of the league's biggest superstars at the net. But what's so cool is that they both have these completely different but totally effective styles of attack.
So on one side of the net, you've got Verona's star, a guy they call Cater. This guy is all about pure, raw power. We're talking thunderous spikes that can save a totally broken play. But then on the other side, you've got Lube's Nikolov. He's like a surgeon with the ball, using incredible control, finesse, and just picking defenses apart. It's really power versus precision. And Cater, man, he was the engine for Verona. He was just constantly putting points on the board, proving exactly why they call him one of the most effective scorers in the entire league. He was their go-to guy, no question. But here's the thing. It wasn't just his offense. His defense was absolutely critical too. The commentators were pointing out these unbelievable saves he was making. I mean, those were the plays that kept Verona alive in some of the toughest rallies.
But on the other side, Nikolov was answering right back, every single time. He was a constant problem for Verona's defense. He didn't always have to smash the ball. Because his control was so good, he could just find the tiniest seam and make Verona's huge block a non-factor.
So you have this incredible duel between the big hitters, right? But underneath all that, the real strategic battle, the chess match, was happening with the setters. And for Verona, Micah Christensen was putting on an absolute clinic.
Okay, so if you're kind of new to volleyball, think of the setter like the quarterback. They're the ones running the plays, calling the shots, and Christensen's performance in this game, it was just pure artistry.
And this quote just sums it up perfectly. He wasn't just tossing the ball up for his hitters. No, he was playing 3D chess out there, actively manipulating Lube's defense, always thinking a few steps ahead. Every single set was a calculated move.
Okay, so here's how his strategy worked, and it was brilliant. Step 1, he'd mess with Lube's receivers by changing up his serve, keeping them off balance. Step 2, he'd watch how their blockers would scramble to react to that chaos. And then, step 3, he'd exploit the weakness he just created by feeding the ball to whichever hitter was open. It was a whole system.
And that whole chess match is what set the stage for the most insane turning point of the entire game. And it came in a moment when, honestly, Verona looked like they were in deep, deep trouble.
So picture this. Lube is up by 4 points. In volleyball, that's a huge lead late in the set. To everyone watching, it looks like it's over. Lube's about to take control and silence this home crowd.
But then, Christensen steps back to the service line, and he just changes everything. His aggressive, pinpoint serves started causing total chaos for Lube, and he just completely flips the script on the entire set.
And this is the key, right? They didn't just crawl back into it. No, that 4-point lead that seemed so safe, it was just gone, demolished in a flash. The whole arena just exploded. From there, the set just turned into this absolute marathon, a point-for-point slugfest. And just look at that final score, 33-32. That is just unreal. It shows you the kind of heart both of these teams had, neither one willing to give an inch. All right, so how did Verona use that incredible momentum swing to actually close this thing out and grab a lead in the series? Let's get to the final moments.
So after a super dramatic challenge, where they look to see if the ball barely grazed a finger on the block, it's denied. And the pressure just became too much. The whole match ends on a service error from Nikolov, who had been brilliant all night. And when that serve went out, oh man, the place just erupted. The home fans went absolutely crazy, celebrating this massive, hard-fought, and just incredibly important win.
So what's the final verdict?
Verona takes it 3-1. You saw that incredible resilience, you saw the game-changing plays from Cotter, and of course, from Christensen. And for Lube, once that momentum shifted, they just couldn't seem to get it back.
So, what are we supposed to take away from all this? It really all comes down to momentum, doesn't it? A single comeback like that, it can create this huge psychological shockwave. And it leaves you with this big question. Was that just game one? Or was that the knockout blow that really decided the entire series? It's just a perfect example of how, in sports, the battle is so often won